Designer Shadi Torby debuted in 2010 with Onirum from Z-Man Games. This was followed a couple of years later by Equilibrion, that was then republished as Urbion. And in 2014, Z-Man Games published a second edition of Onirum in a larger box with more expansions, and this solidified the format for the Oniverse for the years to come. The Oniverse is a series of games from Torby, all for 1 or 2 players, with a 2-player game being cooperative, all with art by Elise Plessis, a very distinct look that you cannot miss. The series was expanded over the years with other titles, Arion and Sylveon and others, and in 2022, Torby founded his own publishing company, Impatience, to publish these types of designs, solitaire and cooperative games. He debuted with Stellarion, his own title, another title in the Oniverse, and he republished all of the existing titles in the Oniverse. Then in 2023, he released Siberion, and he started publishing designs from other people as well with Scoventier. This practice is continuing in 2024-25, and in May 2024, he debuted Sfynx from designer David Perkis, a 1-to-4 player cooperative game in which you are trying to answer the riddles of the Sfynx. I'll show you how to play. Full playthrough of the game. I have the rules at the beginning, and then you can watch as long as you want. You can jump to this time if you want to get past the playthrough and have me talking a bit more about the game. But maybe you want to watch it first and see what the game is like and see if you can do better than me. Here are the components of Sfynx set up and mostly ready to play. You have 25 civilization tiles that you shuffle and lay out in a 5x5 grid with the cursed side up. Then on the long diagonals, you flip those tiles to their restored side. There are 22 different symbols with 3 sphinxes that are jokers. You are going to manipulate these symbols with actions in order to solve riddles that come in 5 levels of difficulty. To solve a riddle, you must rearrange the symbols in order from left to right or top to bottom in the grid, with all of those tiles being restored. You do that, the riddle is solved. This first level, you only need 3 symbols in order, and then second level is 3 symbols without using any jokers. And then 4 symbols, no jokers, 5 symbols. To continue setup, you are going to choose 3 levels of riddles. We'll just do 1, 2, and 3. You draw 3 cards from level 1, 3 from 2, 3 from 3, shuffle, make a deck of 9 cards, and then lay out 3 of them. We'll consider this the front of the line for reasons we'll explain later. Each time you solve a riddle, you get a reward card. You have a deck of 12. You lay out 3 of those as well. So you can see the rewards available to you if you want to use those for planning. You have 12 rounds in which to solve these 9 riddles. You keep track of the rounds with the Clepsydra. It's water clock. You arrange these 12 tokens here. Each round, you're going to reveal 1 token. You can think of the water draining out of the clock bit by bit. They have bad things on the other side, so you don't want to take your time. You got to hustle in order to get this done. To manipulate the symbols, each player has 2 basic action tiles, and you will collectively use 4 of 6 special actions. So you shuffle those, lay them out, and now we see what we have available to us. Again, the basic actions, they always stay the same. You can flip a tile from cursed to restored, or you can make a vertical or horizontal swap. The special actions, you can slide a row. So pick up a tile, slide everything down, and move this to the other side, or of course, do it the other way. You can make a diagonal swap, which is effectively 2 of these. Here you've got 2 vertical swaps. So again, better, but restricted. And restore 2 tiles. So everything's like 2 actions of this. The ones we didn't use, they're comparable here. 2 horizontal actions and slide a column. To decide what we're going to do first, look at the riddles and see where these tiles are in relation to one another. So at the bottom here, we've got Eggman and the bird and the plateau, which I should see. These symbols are all, I think, well designed, and yet you look at a grid like this and they will still disappear. So Eggman, bird, plateau, that seems like we can't quite get those together. Here we have the moon, or anteater, looks like, and the bird, once again, a badge, and squid. These three are nicely together. This one, not so much. We could do 2 vertical swaps to sort of move it up there and get close. Also, sphinxes. Let's not forget sphinxes. I often do. You can use, at most, by the way, 1 sphinx and a riddle, something I learned only recently after winning several games, possibly illegitimately by using more than 1 sphinx. Finally, the worm, the moon, and the Eggman. That. We can slide the row over and then move the worm twice. And then we'll still need to flip those 2, but it's a start. So let's do this. We use a special action, slide the row over. We're going to move a worm and move a worm. So 2 basic actions. That ends the first round. We're now going to reveal the top symbol here, and this might mess us up completely. So there's a silhouette of the Sphinx, along with a column of tiles and an arrow going up. So what this means is, for each column that has a Sphinx in it, you are going to slide it up. Well, so much for our plans. This is the challenge of the game. So this has 1 Sphinx, slides up this way. This has 2 Sphinxes. It will slide up twice. So here and here, possibly destroying everything else along the way. That is the end of that token. Now, at the end of the round, active player restores their basic actions, but the special action stays flipped down. You're going to use one of the remaining 3 for the second round. And then a third round, one of the remaining 2, and then you reset. That's what that symbol is. Reset all the special actions. So you get these at most once every 3 rounds, roughly, although of course you could use it again there. So now we need to reassess, because what we were working on before might not be possible. Worm, moon, Eggman. Now we can still swap and yes, we can. Sure, let's do this. We can do a vertical swap. We can do a vertical swap, and we can restore 2 tiles. Restore these 2. Boom, boom. We now have these in order. We have not used a joker. This riddle is solved. You throw it away. We'll replace it, but before we do, we have to choose a reward. You can't see what's coming when you make this choice. We have used our basic actions, used our special actions. The round is almost over, but you could use this at the end of the second round before you flip this token if you think it would help. If it's not going to solve a riddle immediately, you might not want to. Save it for when you know it can happen. So if we're looking at what's here, Eggman, bird, plateau, still not close at all. Sort of like this diagonal swap, horizontal, vertical, restore. It's like 5 actions. Or this one lets you swap any 2 tiles immediately. All right, what else do we have here? This, bird, badge. I think of that bell. We'll call it a bell. There's the pyramid. They look very similar, but we'll call it a bell. And a squid, which moved down here. Those are not close. In this, you get a free slide, vertical, horizontal. Let's just take the swap everything option. This reward lets you solve a Sphinx-free riddle with a Sphinx. So you spin this and then solve it as if that symbol did not exist. Round 3, whoops, not round 3. Let's look at our punishment. Another Sphinx. Sliding. There's only 4 of these among the 12. And now we're going to slide right. So Sfynx slides right. This slides 2. Stays in this order. This slides 1. So we know what's left is slide down and slide left. There's other stuff as well. We will see those soon. Things just slid on the board. We can assess again. This has not really changed, right? Eggman, bird. Oh, the bird moved. Plateau. Actually, we can do an instant swap there, do a vertical swap there, and then restore 1. Excellent. That slide actually helped because now we only have to move 1 to get this here. And we can do it without Sfynxes. We may as well do it now before it goes away, because one of the penalties here is that riddles will slide back into the deck. So let's do it before it runs away. So we'll swap any 2 tiles. This is one shot used, gone. Does not affect what actions we choose, our 3 for the round. We can do a vertical swap. And we can do a restoration. And now we have this. That leaves these 2. Possibly, should we have chosen one of these instead? We'll just leave it. We'll just roll. I like just rolling and seeing how things work out and not thinking about it too much. Better to just take actions. So again, we get one of these rewards. We have no Sfynx lists riddles right now. We have solved 2 of the 3, so this might be a useless reward. We'll see. 2 diagonal swaps. We already have 1. We don't have any slides right now. We're going to restore everything at the end of this round, but let's go with a slide action. This one lets you restore 3 things at once. Here we got this. We still have the special action. What came up here? Butterfly, water, moon. Butterfly, water, moon. If we slide this over there, and then over and over, that would be done. This looks very promising, but that doesn't help us with this right now. So what else here? Sun, butterfly, crab, bat. Those are not close at all. We have moon, bird, bell, squid. Those are so far away. But we need to use one of these for something. Let's just, we'll throw the bell. Wait a minute. Just remembered. We can also use Sfynxes, water, here, here. Literally, we just need that to move over and those 2 to swap, which we could do right now. So we're going to spin this to slide the row. Okay, that reward's gone. We have this where we make 2 vertical swaps. We'll make 1. We've got this in order, using a Sfynx for the butterfly. We still have another swap, which we have to do before we move on. And let's just move this down, I guess. Possibly working towards that, even though it might be pointless because things might just move away. But we'll do it. Okay, we used all special action, used the 2 basic actions. We're done with that. Ooh, before we even get to the 3rd reward, you got another one, or the end of the 3rd round. Got 3 riddles done. Get a reward again. Restore 3. Do 2 diagonal swaps. Don't think there's any way to do another one right now. Bird, bell, squid, they're all face up, but not in the right arrangement. Let's take this one. We're gonna, well, we might need it at some point. Well, okay. Think we're done. Now we look at the penalty. We have a typhoon or whirlpool, tornado, something like that. The whirlpool symbol says you are going to shuffle the riddles. So you take the first riddle in line, put it at the bottom of the deck, slide these down and turn up a new one. So you could be working on a riddle and then it just goes away. So you want to be aware of that as you're solving. Mentioned that in passing based on experience. Here you're going to flip tiles from restored to cursed, and you're going to do that as many times as the number next to the water timer here, which is 1. It's 1 in the first quarter, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. So we flip one tile from restored to cursed. And what don't we need? What have we not seen so far? We haven't seen this sad sack, this snail. So we'll flip that. Done. Move into the 4th round. Turn all these back up. And see if we can solve something else. This thing I took, not useful right now, but we know it's among the remaining 3 here. What do we have here? We got an artichoke. And a bird. And the bat. Artichoke, bird, bat. So we could use this to drop down twice, use this to move over twice, and ideally set it up to do a double restore or a single restore next. Butterfly, star, artichoke. Blah, those are not close at all. Ideally, we get a vertical swap to move this down there, but we don't have that right now. I hadn't even looked at this because we went through 2 riddles all at once. Star, butterfly, crab, bat. Okay, none of those are ideal. You see there's a lot of reassessing because things shift around as you're solving one part of the puzzle. Other things move at the same time. Due to you, you're doing it, but okay. So we'll do 2 vertical swaps. Wait a second. We do have a Sfynx. Even better. 2 vertical swaps. Let's move the bird up. There's a Sfynx. Artichoke. Bird. Joker. So we did 2 vertical swaps. And now we'll restore 2 tiles. And this is done. Get a reward. You can have at most 3 rewards sitting here. If you got a 4th, you throw away one of them. Probably not going to happen too often. Restore 3, which we might want because this, and this are not restored. 2 diagonals. Okay. We do have this double restore. Or we've got this. This is the outlier. Kind of. This can shift over. We'll take this. Okay. Another 3 restore. And the one where we can use the Joker. So we've used our special, used the basic. We're done unless we could solve this right now using this. Here, bat, worm. No. All right. End of the 4th round. Flip this over. And we slide. I played 4 times now. This is the most I've ever seen those. And all 3 Sfynxes are in the same row, so we're going to slide 3 this way, which is effectively the same as sliding 2 this way. So we'll make it easier on ourselves. Okay. Basic ones come back. Round 5. Did this help? Yes. Sfynx, bat, and worm just need to swap. So that helps. It's amazing sometimes how the penalty will actually help. So we do a vertical swap. We restore 1 tile. We will spend this reward. This is done. Goes away. Get a reward. Let's take one of those, because we definitely need that. There we go. 4 riddles left. We're still not done with the 5th round, because we have not used our special action yet, and we have these available. We see what flips up here. Pyramid, Eye of Sauron, water. Pyramid, Eye of Sauron, water. So if we do a swap anywhere to here, actually to here, here. Then we only need to do a vertical swap after that, but we're not there yet. Can't solve that now. Here, artichoke. All right, that's not close. This still is not close, right? Oh, butterfly, crab, bat. Slide a row, diagonal swap. Okay, there's only one Sfynx movement left. What's going to happen after this? We're going to move riddles, and we're going to flip tiles to cursed. So keeping that in mind, maybe the thing to do is just use the flip cursed to restored, because we know we need them at some point. We'll flip the butterfly because that's in 2 riddles. And we'll flip this as well. Okay. End of the 5th round. What do we have? Double whirlpool. These 2 go away. So to the bottom, slide. And now at this point, things start coming back immediately. Things change once you're down to 3 riddles. We'll get to there soon. So start around 6. Turn up our basic actions. We should be able to do a lot with these 2. Knowing what's here. Again, pyramid, Eye of Sauron, water. So we can slide that and move 1. We kind of want the bat to move anyway to get over under those 2. Excellent. Okay, let's slide the row. Ideally, you can work on lots of riddles at once. I mean, you only have 3 available. You have what you've seen before. If you have a good memory, you can just keep track of all of that. That is not me, but some people can do it. So we slid the row, and now we do a vertical swap. We do a horizontal swap, and this one's done. Dun, dun, dun. That's done. We get a reward. Look at this, 3 rewards. We're maxing out everything. Let's go with the double diagonal movement. I think that'll help us with things that are far away. And now we have only 3 riddles. The whirlpools don't matter if you swap them because they just come back immediately. That changes nothing. So once there are 3 riddles left, you flip this over, and now every whirlpool means you flip 2 tiles from restored to cursed. That hastens your possible doom, because in addition to losing the game if you finish 12 rounds, you lose the game if all of the tiles are cursed. We've got a good assortment of restored stuff right now, so we don't have to worry too much. We have 1 basic action left. We have these available to us. What do we want to work on? We can use Sfynxes, a Sfynx in each of these. The challenge sometimes is figuring out where you're going to use a Sfynx. Okay. We have 1 basic. Okay. So we can do this. 1 basic to, no. 1 basic to move this here. We have 1 swap anywhere. Let's put the bat down here. I'm not paying attention to where the squid needs to go, but don't worry about it right now. And then we're going to restore 3 tiles. We're going to restore the sun, which will complete this one. Sun, butterfly, wild, bat. We've got 2 more that we can restore. What do we need? Here, bird. This one, squid. Those are all good, right? Butterfly, star. Artichoke, moon. Those all look good. We're going to restore 2 more. Let's do a joker. We'll just do the tree, right? We got to restore things. We've used this basic. We've used the special. We do have 2 diagonal swaps that we could use. And let me actually throw this away and get a reward. So now we get one of these as well. Can we complete something else? This bird here, squid. Or 3. 1, 2, 3. Then it has to go over. That goes up to. Sure, we'll do this one. Turn up a reward. End of the 6th round. Flip 2 from Restore the Cursed, because that's where the token is in the 2 zone. We can flip this tree because we know we don't need it. We can flip the bat because we know we don't need that anymore. Things seem like a breeze now. This is definitely a level 1, 2, 3 game. We flip over these. These all come face up. Can we finish everything in this one go? I think we can do it. So we can move 3 verticals. 1, 2, 3. We've got 1 horizontal with the basic here. And now we've got these 3 in order. Dun, dun, dun. We don't even need the squid. We can use the Sfynx, which means we would have an extra vertical swap if we're going to do this. But we can't mess up anything else at the same time we're doing that. And this. All right, let's actually move the Sfynx. We need 2 vertical swaps. All right, we'll do it this way. 1, and move the star up. Give us some room to maneuver. So this is done. That was 2 vertical swaps. Dun, dun, 34. That goes away. We get a reward, which we should definitely be able to finish this. Let's take 3 movements here. We've got 1 basic left. We got 2 diagonals. We got this. 1, 2, 3. Can move this over here. Sure. I think we can just. Hopefully I'm not messing this up. We've got 3 horizontal diagonal movements. 1, 2, 3. We have 2 diagonal movements. 1, 2, and there you go. Wait. We have, okay, last basic movement. There you go. Butterfly, star, artichoke, moon, done. Final reward, not needed. In the 7th round, victory. Now you know how to play Sfynx, at least on the easy level, which is what I've been doing, winning the 4 games that I played on a review copy from Impatience, all on the easy level, 1, 2, 3. Although, as I mentioned, I was overusing Sfynxes to begin with. Now I'm over that. I'm winning okay. I think it's time to step up. The rulebook shows you how to use the levels under this suggested ranking. You go from 1, 2, 3 to 1, 2, 4, and then 1, 2, 5, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So each time you are swapping out one level with 3 cards of another level, randomizing those so you don't know exactly what symbols you will need from one game to another. And as you go up a level, you're either removing the ability to use a Sfynx. So from 1, 2, 3 to 1, 2, 4, now I'm adding in 3 riddles with 4 symbols each that I can't use Sfynxes on, which is going to make me value those rewards more and turn Sfynxes into an impediment as I'm trying to move things around. I can't use them for anything. They're just like any other tile that will get in the way of what you need to do. And then you go away from that to 1, 2, 5. Now you can use Sfynxes again, but now you need 5 tiles, the full width or height of the grid. Haven't tried that yet. Seems like that'll be a lot harder to do to fit everything in. The penalties are kind of interesting because they're bad and they're not bad necessarily. The shifting of the grid due to the Sfynx where you slide all those, sometimes it's great. It works out to your advantage. You can't really plan for it, but sometimes you were ignoring a riddle because things seemed so far away, and then one shift moves something to the other side of the board, and now maybe it's possible. The shifting of the riddles, if you know that's coming, then you know not to work on the riddle that's at the front of the line because it's likely to go away. If you can solve it this round, great. But otherwise, maybe you want to work on the ones at the back of the line, so then you'll be able to work on it again next round. It'll still be there unless you do 2 of the whirlpools and suddenly the first 2 go away. Sometimes it's beneficial because you can't work on the riddle anyway, and so it goes away and it's replaced by something that is easier to do. So that's the bad thing becoming a good thing. It's interesting to see how that works and mix it up there. The ones where you flip from restored to cursed, well, those are just bad. Sometimes it doesn't matter because you're through with a symbol, you just don't think you need it, whatever. But of course, as the game goes on, that number keeps flipping higher, and so that gives you an additional lose condition. It's that clock that's just squeezing you. And often it doesn't matter until right at the end where potentially it'll escalate a lot. And definitely if my games take longer, right now I'm ending in like the 7 to 9 range for those. It goes on longer, you're going to be flipping more at a time. You might get a little more desperate. And it might depend on what special tiles, special actions you have available. I think in every game I've played so far, I've had the one where you get to flip 2 tiles from cursed to restored, which means I'm not using my basic actions for that, which gives me a swap. So again, variety. You got lots of variety in how things are coming out, and you can customize it as you wish by sorting the level cards or changing the starting arrangement. The rulebook has a suggestion here. You can start with 1 more or 1 fewer restored tile to make things harder or easier for you as you wish. And of course, you can do what you want in terms of laying things out. It's interesting. It's a nice little puzzly challenge. You have to roll with it because, of course, things are going to move over time and get away from you. It's like, I don't know. You can imagine that like the old arranging cats problem. How you know keep them from all moving around. Sort of issue, just because you can't keep them all in place. Things are going to move as you move one other thing. That's what's going to happen. Now, this is a 1 to 4 player game, and I cannot see you playing it with other people, but maybe that's just me. Mostly because there's no hidden information in the game. Everything is open. I mean, you don't know the order of the riddles, you don't know the order of the reward cards or the water tokens, but there's nothing hidden that I know that you don't know. So we're not really bringing anything unique to us to the table other than, of course, our personalities, which, cool. It's great to have that, but maybe don't play a game that way. Dwarf Romantic, the board game, has a similar setup where it's a cooperative game, but there's no hidden information. You're turning over a tile on a turn and then deciding where to put it in the layout, and people can suggest things, but I can suggest those same things. We know all the possibilities for where it can go because literally the rules tell you here are the possible places where you can put that tile. And now where's the best place to put it? That's just a matter of opinion. Unless we're counting every single tile left and we were tracking what's available and what could come out, I don't think that's what most people are doing. It's much more just the communal nature of the game. But for a cooperative game, I want to have something that's just mine that then I have to either communicate to you or, bring to the table to solve a puzzle or do a riddle or get somewhere, or do something where I'm bringing that thing, aside from just my thoughts on how to do something, but the secret information as well. That's what makes it more engaging and challenging, is that you have something and you have something and you have something and you have something, and we're all just pooling it together. And here in Sfynx and Dwarf Romantic board game, it's all just out there in the open. So I'm fine playing things like this on my own, but probably not with other people. So I don't know. Maybe you got a different personality type that would just love it, and you all work together and you cheer and you'd enjoy that. But I think I would mostly just be waiting for other people to decide something, or just say like, yeah, let's go with that plan. Or I don't know. Again, just personality traits. So my dog offers nothing other than barking. Delivery man at the door. Gotta go. Now you know how to play Sfynx. We're all set.